All right, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Aaron. Hey guys, I got a great video prepared for you today. We're going over recent news, but it's really two main things. Number one, I'm going to go over three strong fundamentals that to me suggest that Bitcoin is going to rally again greater than ever, and this is actual data that we can point to that's in an uptrend that in my mind means that eventually Bitcoin's price will follow if this uptrend continues. And then number two, I want to talk about Donald Trump now. Do you like Donald Trump? Do you dislike Donald Trump? Regardless how you feel about him, let's go over three things he is doing, purposefully, not purposefully. It remains to be seen, but three reasons why Trump is Bitcoin's biggest champion. We'll go over this article and compare it to a couple others. Trump may be good for Bitcoin. We'll go over that. Now, taking a quick look at the price, we are still maintaining a price point above $5,000. I don't know about you, but I'm waiting for a pullback. I'm waiting to see if we can get a higher low than before. Now, that being said, a lot of people are kind of FOMOing in at this point, and the volume is looking pretty strong. So we'll keep a close eye on that, maybe check back at the end of the video. And yeah, if you find value in this video, guys, do me a favor, give the video a like. It's a small thing you can do. It truly does help us grow as a channel. And let's get into it. All right, so I want to start things off here. Bitcoin active addresses historical chart. And the takeaway here is that Bitcoin active addresses are actually up 26% from the January 2018 low. And you can see here that the active Bitcoin addresses have actually been steadily increasing for the past 10 years. I mean, not only the past 10 years, but after the 2018 crash or correction, we've been in this uptrend still. So this is a very strong fundamental in my opinion. And, check it out. The active addresses, where they are right now, it's actually pretty similar to where Bitcoin was trading when Bitcoin's price was above $10,000. So, given enough time, I expect this uptrend will continue, and eventually we'll be seeing greater all-time highs on Bitcoin active addresses. And why not? I didn't want to get into why Bitcoin has value right here. We're going to be going over two other fundamentals, but the reason probably more and more people are waking up to Bitcoin's true value, and that is what? I've said it here many times. Bitcoin is a harder money than gold. It's a harder money than fiat government currency. It's better in that it is permissionless. You don't need the government's permission or a third party's permission to make a transaction. It's unconfiscatable, meaning that even if the government wanted to, they could not stop you from transacting. There's no single point of failure, so the government can't just, do a sting operation and shut Bitcoin down. Its network is very vast. And then finally, Bitcoin is unprintable. It's got a bigger stock to flow ratio than gold. It's more scarce than gold, basically, and that's probably why Bitcoin active addresses are increasing. Now, number two, let's talk about Bitcoin's hash rate. So Bitcoin's hash rate, basically as the hash rate increases, so does the security of the network. And you can see here that Bitcoin's hash rate is actually very close to its all-time highs. And yes, it's been in an uptrend for the last 10 years as well. So it took a dip at the end of last year. This is when Bitcoin capitulated from $6,000 to $3,000, I believe. But even since that point, we have still been seeing this uptrend, these higher highs. This is what I like to see. This is a strong fundamental. And, as Bitcoin's hash rate increases, so does the security of the network. Now, the final strong fundamental, let's talk about Bitcoin transactions. So you can see here that Bitcoin transactions, well, first of all, they're extremely close to its all-time highs. And yes, again, we've been in this uptrend for the last 10 years, but the fact that transactions are very close to where they were when Bitcoin was $20,000, we know that the fees are less, the congestion is less now. This is only a good sign, right? All right, let's talk about Donald J. Trump. Now, whether you're on the Trump train or not, Trump could be contributing to, he could be Bitcoin's biggest champion. And the three reasons presented in this article are as follows. Number one, Trump makes the Federal Reserve look stupidly unindependent. He's basically waking people up to how unnecessary, how dubious the Federal Reserve really is. Number two, he's appointing pro-Bitcoin staff in high places. And number three, economic uncertainty that he may or may not be contributing to is the perfect storm for Bitcoin. Let's get into it. So, number one, Trump makes the Fed look stupidly unindependent. So, ever since his presidency began, Trump has been on a mission to gain greater control of the central banks. Hey, sounds good to me, right? Somebody needs to get them in control. Whether Trump should have that power or not, that remains to be seen. But he's already placed 4 out of 7 board members and has nominated a further 2. So basically, Trump, since the beginning of his presidency, he's been at odds with the Federal Reserve, and he's either trying to manage them or control them or sometimes just shame them. And yeah, here we go. Check out this tweet. The only problem our economy has is the Fed. They don't have a feel for the market. They don't understand necessary trade wars or strong dollars or even democratic shutdowns over borders. The Fed is like a powerful golfer who can't score because he has no touch. He can't putt. Classic Trump tweet. But, overall, this publicity that he's creating, creates a lot of doubt in the general public's opinion of who controls our money. And I also believe that Trump has encouraged the Fed to print more money with quantitative easing. So Trump has encouraged the Fed to devalue the American dollar even more. And that's not good. People will be putting their money in Bitcoin to try and save its value. So number 2, Trump has either appointed or nominated pro-Bitcoiners in high places. And we've covered some of this stuff on the channel before, but in this case, we're talking about Mick Mulvaney. Mick Mulvaney's recent appointment as budget director could be extremely bullish for Bitcoin. His knowledge of the digital currencies goes way back, and he was instrumental in educating people inside Washington about Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Mulvaney even co-created a bipartisan initiative called Blockchain Caucus to act as a discussion center for ways to incorporate blockchain technology in the national government. It's likely that any regulations surrounding Bitcoin will be positive while Mulvaney is in office. And then finally, this economic uncertainty that Trump may or may not be contributing to is the perfect storm for Bitcoin. So Trump and other world leaders continue to bash their central banks while also leaning on them for further funding. This uncontrollable spending and economic turmoil is inadvertently creating the perfect storm for Bitcoin. After all, political discord, economic instability, and the demising power of central banks are all conditions that favor the adoption of Bitcoin. Its immutable ledger, and particularly the inability of anyone to change the rules, makes it the most politically neutral form of money that's ever existed. This makes Bitcoin unlike any other asset that existed before, which explains why it thrives in times of political instability and economic turmoil. As Max Kaiser said, Bitcoin adoption has always been driven by bank failures, bailouts, bail-ins, and political unrest. And this is just an example of the kinds of stuff that Trump is doing to create this turmoil. For instance, suggesting that the White House considers restricting remittance to Mexico. The White House is considering a plan to curb payments sent to Mexico and Central America countries in order to stem a surge of illegal aliens pouring into the United States. And as we saw in Venezuela, this only wakes people up to trying to find other options how to send money. And you can send Bitcoin to anyone in the world in a relatively short amount of time, and nobody can stop you, as we already went over. So what do you think? Donald J. Trump, is he good for Bitcoin? Is he bad for Bitcoin? Do you think he even knows what Bitcoin is or why it's valuable? Let's talk about it in the comments. Anyway, just a few more pieces of news that I wanted to go over with you today. We're going to talk about Coinbase, this article out of Forbes. Then I want to get into some EOS news. Yes, it's not all about Bitcoin on this channel. Surely some other altcoins will succeed, and EOS maybe is one of them. Let's talk about it. Anyways, Coinbase and Visa. What a partnership. Coinbase and Visa are making Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple's XRP and Litecoin payments a reality. So check this out. Coinbase has teamed up with global payment processor Visa, launching the Coinbase card, which allows users to spend crypto as effortlessly as the money in their bank. So this is pretty cool, right? The Visa debit card, which has a $6.50 card issuance fee, can be used to spend Coinbase's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple's XRP, and Litecoin in millions of locations around the world. By converting the cryptocurrency to fiat, when the card is used, the merchant or store gets paid in traditional fiat currency. So I believe that any place that accepts Visa, you will be able to use your Bitcoin and spend it with the Coinbase card. that is the money that you're storing in Coinbase. So this is not something that I'm going to be, I'll gladly spend my cryptocurrency, without Coinbase knowing about it. Personally, now would I pay $650 to flash this card? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Now that being said, I'm sure you remember the previous installation of cryptocurrency cards where they required users to preload a specified amount of crypto on their card, adding a point of friction in the process. This is something, I guess, better. And the Coinbase card is currently only available in the UK. They do have plans to roll this out across Europe in the upcoming months, and there's no plans yet for support outside of Europe. Now, I think personally, I can understand why nobody would want to spend their Bitcoin or their valuable cryptocurrencies. I personally think the best practice, and sure this might be a pain, is to spend and replace. That way you encourage Bitcoin adoption, but you don't lose out on your investment. Am I going to use the Coinbase card? No, but like I said, $650 to carry it in my wallet, maybe. Now, are there any EOS fans out there? Check this out. A freelance job market, it's moving its 700,000 users to the EOS blockchain. So over 700,000 user accounts from a freelancing website are moving onto the EOS blockchain. It's called Moonlighting, and it's a marketplace for freelance professionals, which was launched in 2014, and it has taken on a $5 million investment. The investment will be used to grow Moonlighting's user base and to integrate its existing infrastructure with EOS. This is a quote from Jeff Tenery, the CEO. He said, "We have been exploring blockchain protocols since the beginning of 2017 and have chosen EOS.io due to its ability to scale transaction processing, maintaining low transaction costs, and enabling ease of user account management." Then we also have a quote from the COO of EOS VC. He said in a press release, "We believe that Moonlighting contains the three key traits you look for in a decentralized application: real customers, real transactions, and a bona fide use case for blockchain technology." So, hey, whether you like EOS or you don't, this is certainly good for cryptocurrency in general, and definitely good for the EOS team. I hope this goes well for them. Taking a quick look again at the price, about the same. We are kind of maintaining above $5,000. I'll tell you what I did earlier today. I actually took a little bit of profits. Well, it's not really profits. I actually transferred some Bitcoin into a stable coin, not Tether, but a different stable coin. Right up here, I noticed that Bitcoin was over 5,400, and I'm expecting a pullback. So once it gets back, if we see any sort of pullback, I'll start reinvesting again. Now, if we keep going up forever, that's great. I'm prepared to, I don't know what it was, 10% of my portfolio. I'm prepared to, that's fine. I'm taking that risk, and I'm prepared to wait and be patient. But that's me. I do expect, probably like you, that we will have resistance around $6,000. And, we're not going to go up forever. Anyway, let me know what you guys are doing. This is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. 2019 is a great year to be cost averaging Bitcoin and select cryptocurrencies. Yes, indeed. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, my friends.